Hi guys, welcome to this lecture on Python IDE overview and installation of Anaconda IDE. In the previous lecture, we had seen introduction to Python. So today we will see how to install Anaconda IDE step by step. We will see um, how to install and what are all the features available, what are the tools we can use from this IDE. We will see. And then we will also discuss the compatibilities with different OS like Windows, Linux or Mac OS. Then we will see how simple example program, how to run a simple Python program using command line interface. At the end of this lecture, we will see how to use Jupyter Notebook for writing Python program. So let us start with the overview of Python IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. It has a lot of packages, modules, tools for developing applications. So you can use this distribution for developing a data science applications on different platforms. So it is available for Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and the Python code editors are providing the facility to write code and debug programs easily. So we can use this Python IDE to manage a large code base, and we can create large amount of code and we can maintain and we can easily deploy the application using this IDE. So DevOps developers they use this Python IDE for continuous integration purpose, and this IDE can be used to create either a desktop based application or web based application. Now let us discuss compatibilities. We have several IDEs. Python Anaconda IDE is one of the popular IDE, so it is widely used on Windows or Mac or Linux platform. And we have PyCharm and Jupyter Notebook, Spider. So this Jupyter Notebook, Spider, both are available in Anaconda IDE itself. You can select any one of the platform to write the code, Python code. And Dreamweaver is available both free of cost as well as it is trial version is available for free, and for paid version is available. It supports on Windows. It is supported on Windows, Android, iOS, and IDLE is one of the basic Python IDE. It is supported on Windows, Mac OS, and Unix platform. And we have Sublime Text 3. It is supported on Windows and Unix OS, and Anaconda is supported on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. And we have Visual Studio. It is supported on OS X, Windows, and Linux platform. So these are freely available or open source Python IDE, PyCharm, IDLE, Sublime Text, Anaconda, Visual Studio. These are freely available. Dreamweaver is available for trial purpose, freely available for trial purpose, and you have paid version. To download these Anaconda IDE, so you first type these on the address bar of any browser. So I will show in parallel how to do that. So you need to type this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the net. So first I will copy this URL. Let us now connect the net, and then we will open the browser. So first I'm going to connect the net. So after connecting this net, I'm opening this Google Chrome browser. I'm just pasting this URL. Now you can see here Anaconda website is open. Here you can see why Anaconda and the enterprise platform, everything. So you have to go to free download. You have to go to free download. You have several distribution, Anaconda distribution. You can just go through these things. Go to free download. So you have to go to this download option, and once you downloaded the Anaconda IDE for your platform, if you are having Windows, you should check whether it is supported on 64-bit OS or 32-bit OS. You should check the compatibility of OS. So download a proper version Anaconda Python IDE for your OS. After that, you should go to that download folder. So already I have downloaded this. I have IDE downloaded and I have saved it in a particular folder. So I'm I'm going to that download folder to double click on the installer to launch. I have already installed it. Just I'll show step by step how to do that. So once you double click on that IDE icon, so IDE it will show the screen like this. So here you should select the path to install the Anaconda IDE. So you need to select the destination folder. I have selected CLI user, and that it is going to store the installation files. So you should click on next button, and then you should read the licensing terms and conditions. So if you are going for paid version, you should have purchased the license. If you have not purchased, then you should accept the terms and condition and purchase the license. If you are already have purchased the license, then you can authenticate to use the Python IDE. So here the next step, it will ask you to select the path environment variable. We don't have to select this, you can leave it as it is. So just you have to click on install. So if you are using a path environment variable, then it will interfere with other software and all. So you can leave this as it is. So you don't have to select path environment variable. So once that is done, you have to click next. So you can see here, here we have left this default register Anaconda 3 as my default Python 3.9. So this Python Anaconda IDE is for 3.9 version. So you should click on install. So you don't have to select this first checkbox, which is having add Anaconda IDE to my Python path environment variable. So if you select this, it will interfere with other software, so they will leave it as it is. Click on install and then click on next. So it will show optional message to if you want to learn more about Anaconda's cloud, you can click on this, and if you to learn more about Anaconda's cloud notebook service, you can go to this path. You can click on that link to read about it. Otherwise, you just click on continue to proceed. So after that, so if you haven't clicked on this link, you can just click on next. Finally, it will ask you to click on this finish button. So you just click on this finish button. It will show thanks for installing Anaconda. So that's all about the installation. So once it is installed, so you can go to the start menu to open this Anaconda IDE. I have gone to the start menu. I am searching for Anaconda. So it has been installed, so you can click on it. You can just click on it. If you click this, it will open this Anaconda IDE. So you'll see this logo on your desktop. So it will open this Anaconda navigator. Here you can see all applications available in this Anaconda navigator. You have Jupyter Notebook for writing Python programs, and you have R Studio for writing R scripts or programs, and you have environments. You can create either a TensorFlow environment, or you can use the base level environment. If you click on this environment, you can see here we are using a base environment. So if you have created a environment for TensorFlow, it will show separately here. And you can see on the right hand side all the installed applications and tools, packages, modules, libraries. So for learning purpose, you have several tutorials, documentation here. You can make use of this for learning purpose. And you have community support, as we discussed earlier in the previous lecture. There is a excellent community support. You can make use of this community support for solving the problems. Now I'm going to open this Jupyter Notebook, because we are going to write Python programs on Jupyter Notebook. So I'll just click on it. Either you can click on launch button over here, or you can directly go to the start menu, search for Jupyter Notebook. Just type Jupyter Notebook. So it will show the Jupyter Notebook over here. You need to click on it. So I'm not launching from the Anaconda IDE, I'm just directly opening it. You just click on it. So it will open the Jupyter Notebook. It will take a few minutes. So it runs with the local server. It will open with the browser. So once you started the Anaconda, you can just check on Windows how whether it runs or not. On Mac OS, you have to click on the launch pad and then select Anaconda navigator. Otherwise, you can use this commands plus space to open the spotlight search, and then type navigator to open this. If you are preferring command line interface, you can use Conda to verify the installation. So Conda is an environment which helps to make use of various Python modules, packages. So you can open the Anaconda command prompt on Windows. If you are using Linux or Mac OS, you can open the terminal. On Windows, you have to just click on start and then search for Anaconda prompt to open the Anaconda prompt. So I will show you on Windows how to open the Anaconda prompt now. So Jupyter Notebook is already running. So I'm going to now open the Anaconda command prompt. So here is that Anaconda prompt. So I'm just opening that Anaconda from prompt. It will take few minutes. Let us wait, and then we'll see how to you run a Python program, simple Python program from this command prompt. Either you can use command line interface for writing simple programs, or for learning purpose and all, you can make use of this. Otherwise, you can use Jupyter Notebook to write a large program. Even you can create a Python module from this command prompt you can run this. You need to save the file, Python file with .py extension on the particular path, and then you need to run the Python file from this Anaconda command prompt. If you are using Mac OS, you need to use command plus space to open the Spotlight and then search for navigator. If you are using Linux CentOS, then you should go to applications menu, go to system tools, and then select terminal. On the terminal you can type the command to open the Anaconda navigator. You can either select the type the command Anaconda hyphen navigator, or you can enter the command Conda space list, or otherwise you can type Python. So this is for Linux Ubuntu. If you are using Linux Ubuntu version, then you can open the terminal window, and from that command prompt, after opening the command prompt, Anaconda command prompt, you can type any one of this command to check whether the Python is installed or not. So we can either use a text editor to create a Python program, or you can use integrated development like Anaconda, PyCharm, or Visual Studio, Thani, or NetBeans IDE, or Eclipse to work with Python programs. So IDE helps us to manage a large collection of Python files. We can deploy easily. To check whether the Python is installed, and if you want to check the Python version, so you can just type Python space hyphen hyphen version. So you can go to the Anaconda command prompt, type Python space it is somewhat slow. Let us wait for a few minutes, it will run. So we have to type Python space hyphen hyphen version. So after typing this statement, just press enter. It will show you the Python version. So now let us press enter. So it shows 3.9.13. So we are using the Python version 3.9.13. okay. So if you want to create a Python file, we have two methods. As I already told you, you can use either a text editor, or you can use Jupyter Notebook or Spider from the Anaconda navigator. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close this Anaconda navigator, because already I have started directly this Jupyter Notebook. So I'm going to show how to work with this Anaconda prompt. By using a text editor, we will create a Python file, we will run from the command prompt, Anaconda prompt, and in the second method we are going to use Jupyter Notebook. So let us first see how to create a simple program on. Let us use a text editor. I'm going to use a Notepad++ editor. I have written this simple statement, hello world program, Python program. So I'm saving this file with hello world.py. So here you have a save as type. You can select what type of file you are creating. You can save this file as you want. Since we have created a Python file, so we have to select Python from this. So here we have selected Python. if you have created a R program, you can select R, or Python PHP program, you can select PHP, Perl files. So you can check which type of file you have created. Since we are working with Python, so you can select Python and then give an appropriate name to your file. And we have to go to the C drive. We have to go to the proper path. C drive, users, here user. So here I am saving this file. So already I have created it, so it has been saved now. Now to run this program, you can type from this command prompt, Anaconda prompt, you can type Python space hello world dot py. So you can type like this, Python space the Python file name with .py extension. Now press enter. It shows a hello world message. Our simple Python program has been created, and it runs from that particular path. So this is one method, guys. And also you to learn Python line by line, maybe you can directly work with Python statements. Type Python, press enter. It will show you these prompt. Here you can type whatever the statements you want. For example, I am typing the same statement, simple statement, print statement, welcome to Python class, like that, a simple statement. So I am using a print command and specifying the message to be displayed. Now press enter. So it gets executed. Similarly, you can assign value to a variable and then print it. Print A. So like this you can work with Python program. Now I'm going to quit this editor. So now to exit from this Anaconda prompt, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use exit command. If you type exit, press enter, so it is closed, right? So this is the first method. The second method, we are going to use the Jupyter Notebook. Let us see how to use the Jupyter Notebook. So here you can see, guys, we have a quit option and the logout option. So we have files. So in these files you can see all the files that I have created. So here, if you want to create a new file, you have to go to this new, and you can see we have various options. If you are creating a Python notebook file, you can select Python 3 IPyKernel, interactive Python kernel. It makes use of kernel for running your program. So we have a text file. If you want to create a simple text file, you can use this. If you want to create a folder like this, you can select this one. If you want to open the terminal, you can click on this. So I'm going to use a create of a new folder now. So once you clicked on that new folder, so here you can select this checkbox. This untitled folder has to be renamed now. So here you should give appropriate name to your folder. So your proper name, data science with Python. So I'm going to give a name like this, data science with Python. So all the programs that I create the next class will be saved in this folder. So I have to select that folder now. So this folder has been created. You just click on this. This folder has been opened. Here you can create a Python file. To create a new Python file, you can go to this new option and select, click on it. Click this Python 3. Now the Jupyter Notebook has been opened. You need to give a proper name to the file. So I'm going to just give the hello world simple program name. So previously we created using Anaconda command prompt. Now I'm creating this by using Jupyter Notebook. So hello world, I'm creating a hello world program. Just type this print statement within double quotes, hello world message. Now to run this, you can click on this run button. So like this you can type, for example, as we discussed previously in the previous lecture, we don't have to declare a data type for variable. So as soon as you type a variable, run the programming language statement, so it recognizes the type of variable. So for example, I am assigning a is equal to 3, okay, and then I'm printing the value of this variable. So I didn't specify that this is of integer type variable. Automatically it recognizes the data type. So that is, it is a dynamically typed language. Just run this, so it gets executed. So here guys, you can see we have uh, running tab, right? If you click on this, you can see our currently running Python notebook file, right? Interactive Python notebook file. This I stands for interactive, Py stands for Python, NB stands for notebook. So this is running. So if you are running multiple files, maybe you can suppose you want to close one notebook, means you can come here and just click on shutdown. Okay, this cluster is for IPython parallel processing environment. So we are not going to go much details into that. So let us now see what are all the options we have in Jupyter Notebook. So already I created this file guys, right? So it has been saved in this folder, data science with Python folder. You can see here, you can create a new Python notebook, you can open an existing file, or you can create a, you can make a copy of it, you can save as with a different file extension, and then here you have save option, right? To insert a cell below, you can click on this. To cut selected cell, you can click on this. You can copy a selected cell and paste it. You can paste cells below. You can, for example, move this up, or you can move this down. To run the code, you can either go ahead with this, otherwise you can press shift enter. That's also fine. We have a shortcut key. To stop this, you can click on this interrupt kernel option. So here you can see we have code, right? So if you're writing code, you can give this option. Otherwise, if you want to type something like a markup, if you want to add some text for making users to understand what you have written, then you can select this option. You can type something here. For example, I am typing that this is a hello world Python program. So now if you run this, so it will be added as normal text. So this is for documentation purpose guys. This will help others to understand what you have written, right? So you can add some description as well to explain the code, right? You can write some technical points, and then we have edit option. We can make use of this cut cell, copy cell, undo, delete cell, all these things, paste cell below, find, replace, all these options you can use. And then you have view bar, and then insert cell below or above, run cells. You can see here we have shortcut key You can press Control Enter to run the cell. Otherwise, you can press Shift Enter to run the cell and then select go to the below line. So you can also click on Run All to run all the statements written over here. You can see kernel. You can restart the kernel or interrupt the kernel, shut down, reignite. So all these are possible. So that's all, guys, in this lecture. I'm going to log out from this Jupyter Notebook now. In the next lecture, we will start with the Python basic programming. So we are going to work with the variables, various ways of using variables to store different types of data. We'll see how to use different kinds of data and how to convert one type of data into another type. Like we'll be discussing type conversion and basic syntax, indentation, all those things. Thank you guys for listening. Have a nice day.